The thing with these exercises is that they're not just going to tone your thighs and glutes, they're also going to keep your hips and gait healthy and strong for years to come. So for today's lower body strength training routine, we're going to be using these hip circle bands. Shop at DMoose. We're going to begin with some lateral traveling squats. This is the heavy band. We've placed it just above the knees. From here, we're going to keep the feet parallel on the outsides. We can squat down, anywhere to a quarter squat to a half squat. Then we want to be sure that the knees stay lined up over the middle toes throughout the exercise. We start with the feet a little bit narrow, a little more narrow than hip width apart. The knees are over top of those middle toes. Then we'll step out with the right leg. Hold the position with the knees wide, driving out into your band for 3, 2, 1. Then step over with the left foot, and again quickly step out wide with the right, so that your feet remain parallel on the outsides, and the knees are positioned over your middle toes. The thighs are pressing out into the bands, and we're engaged through the gluteal muscles. After you've gone for about 10 repetitions in one direction, either take a pause or simply quickly return and perform another 10 repetitions in the opposite direction. You want to be in a slight posterior tilt. Keep the abdominal wall engaged. Shake out those legs. When you're ready, we're going to grab the medium resistance band and place it around the ankles. We're keeping the legs locked straight as we perform a waddle with internal rotation. We keep the feet parallel on the outsides. We keep the legs stiff and straight at the knees. Abdominals are engaged, and we're simply shifting our weight from one leg to the other. Keeping the ankles pushing out into the band. Keeping the exact same distance between the heels as we rock from one leg to the other. Tension is maintained from the glutes all the way down the back of the legs to the heels. The toes feel slightly turned in as if pigeon-toed. And the abdominals are engaged and drawing in as well. Let's take a moment to stretch the glutes here in this figure 4 position. We'll cross one ankle over the opposite thigh close to the knee, and then hold the position with one hand at the ankle, the opposite hand pressing against the knee. And we're stepping forward here and performing a few repetitions with each leg in the figure 4 position. There's a slight posterior tilt, abdominal wall draws in, and I like to do it with stiff and straight elbows. Our third exercise is the glute kickbacks, and here we will use the lightest of the 3 bands. And we're going to begin with the band around the left ankle and the right heel. Now we're standing on the left leg with a slight bend in the knee as we drive the right heel back on a diagonal line. Abdominals are engaged and that right glute will fire up as the heel drives back on a diagonal line from the left heel. We start with the right knee bent as the heels are close, and the right knee straightens as the heel kicks back. The supporting left knee remains slightly bent the whole time. It's 10 repetitions and then a 10-second hold on the final rep, and then some nice hip circles to release any tension that might have built up in the lower back. Then we'll switch sides with the band around the right ankle and the left heel. The left knee bends as the heels draw close. The left knee straightens and the toes are turned out on a 45-degree angle. Here we're performing kickbacks with external rotation at the left hip as the left heel drives back on a diagonal line from the right heel. The right knee is slightly bent the whole time, and 10 repetitions and a 10-second hold for the final rep. Again, we can take a moment to release any tension through the lower back with some circles of the pelvis, some spinal waves. Take your time and recover after the last exercise, then we'll get you down onto hands and knees in the quadruped position, and the band is placed just below the knees. From here, we're going to keep the left knee down on the ground, and we're reaching the right heel towards the sky, while pulling the navel up and into the lower back, maintaining a slight posterior tilt through the pelvis, maintaining a long spine from the crown of the head to the tailbone. And we're lifting that right heel while keeping it stacked over the knee 10 times and holding the final repetition for 10 seconds. The movements are very small. And then we can change sides. We'll have the band around the right lower leg, and it will grab the back of the left thigh as we draw the navel up and in. Keep the spine still and fixed as the left heel drives to the sky, with the heel stacked over that left knee, the heel and knee lined up with the left hip and shoulder. And the torso stays squared right off to the ground as well as the pelvis. The movement is very small with a 3-second hold at the top, 10 repetitions, and holding the final rep for 10 seconds. Then from here, we can perform some spinal waving from hands and knees. The pelvis will drive back as we're in extension of the spine, and we'll drive the body forward while we're in flexion of the spine. And you can do the reverse as well. The elbows can be straight or bent with this spinal wave. And the last of our exercises for today are the clamshells. We'll begin with the lightest of the bands wrapped around the lowest part of the thighs. And here we're in a side lying position. We have the knees and hips bent to 90 degrees, and we're tensing up the abdominal wall. That corset muscle is drawn in, and we're driving the left knee forward as we lie on our right side. Once the left knee has driven forward, we then externally rotate up that hip to drive the knee to the sky. The feet are stacked with the top foot pressed up against the bottom so that there's a point to anchor on. We keep the abdominals engaged, we maintain a posterior tilt, we drive the top hip and knee forward, then externally rotate at that hip to drive the knee to the sky. And again, it's 10 repetitions with a good 3 to 4 count hold in each position. And we can go ahead and change sides. Now the right leg is the top leg, there's tension through the abdominals and a gap underneath the left side of the waist. We drive forward through the right knee and the right side of the pelvis, then drive the right knee to the sky, holding that external rotation with tension through the abdominals. And the sole of the right foot has pressed up against the top of the left foot in order to use the bottom foot as an anchor. We always want to drive the top hip and knee forward so that we feel almost as if we're rolling onto our belly as opposed to rolling onto our back and opening the hips to the sky. And we're performing 10 repetitions with a 3 count hold at the top. And great work. Thanks for enjoying this video, and thank you DMoose for the awesome circle hip bands. And if you enjoyed this video, please refer to this playlist up in the top corner. Click on the link here and you'll find more of my strength and conditioning routines. Thanks for watching, guys. Have an awesome day and keep moving naturally for life.